Yeah, it does have a really nice, like, metallic texture to it. You, as far as I know, you're going to be able to paint your ship. Nice. I think it's so relaxing to, oh, where are we going? Oh, Deacons, right. Um, it's nice to kind of sit and relax on Star System with a cup of tea, especially when somebody else is flying. It's really nice. Yeah, there are skins for like the Aurora and stuff, but I think that you're going to be able to customize the paint job. I've even heard them say that they will possibly let you put your own logo on your ship, but they said you would not be able to put your own logo on clothing, but possibly a ship. It feels to me like an outside possibility. Ooh, matcha's good. Yeah, I got some gunpowder green. Yeah, see, that's the thing that worries me is I've got a really great color scheme for the Tommy knockers, and I think it's going to look really nice and really classy, but I am worried that there's going to be too many, you know, bright pink erasers flying across the sky. But I guess, I don't know, maybe you won't run into so many people in the game unless you want to. Maybe those people will be easily avoided. But yeah, definitely I feel like there'll be a heavy quantity of meme warriors out there. I feel like some of the ship variants that they've released straight from CIG are like meme ships. There's some crazy colors in there, I feel like. Oh yeah, most common name for a ship will be Enterprise. Yeah, I think you're right. That's fine, there's no rush. I think we all understand that this ship wasn't exactly built for speed. To tell the truth, I think that 888 is pretty quick for a ship this size. I mean, my Freelancer goes 1004. And that's a pretty big difference, but considering the size difference, that gap could be a lot larger. Yeah, landing this thing on the dark side of a planet, or a moon rather, is I mean, I haven't had a chance to land this thing planet side yet. In the PTU, I had access to Caterpillar and I tried landing that a lot. Game was a lot less stable, but once they fine-tuned it a little bit, that was fun. But Caterpillar, while it's more of a challenge than most ships, it's not much of a challenge compared to a Starfarer. Good morning, Adam. Adam, you don't happen to be making yourself a cup of tea, do you? I think we got a lot of tea going on in this stream. It's going pretty well. Yeah, we got 3 of us here on the Starfarer. We're heading to Deacon. I think we're gonna maybe take out some dragonflies if the daylight permits. Who knows? If not, we'll find something fun to do. But I think we're having a pretty nice time. It's good to have you along. Not making tea. You're in bed being lazy. Good enough for me. Plenty good enough for me. Audio life, thank you. I'm just a simple Earl Grey. I'm just a simple Earl Grey drinker. Gym socks. Yeah, see, Earl Grey was my thing for the longest time. And then got into the English breakfast for a while. But now it's all about green tea. Lately, it's all been green tea for me. I was even into herbal for a while. But I don't know, maybe I need to revisit Earl Grey. Yeah, Adam, it counts. I mean, if you're British, you've probably got tea flowing through your veins, so that counts. I like that, Adam. You know, it reminds me of when Tom Green swam across Puget Sound. His speech before he did it, and it was a big deal. It's funny because Tom Green, you know, he's such a goofy guy, but it was a real feat to do that. Nobody had ever done it before. He said, "My body is made of 70% water, so that means that really only 30% of me has to swim." I remember really loving that. I was a big Tom Green fan. I mean, I still am, but you know, that was his heyday there. That was post MTV, and I think that, I'm not sure if it was before or right after the Bum Bum song. Here's an interesting thing about Tom Green. All the things that he did, this is maybe one of the more interesting. He was the first ever live call-in show on the internet. So there were other talk shows that had been on before him, not many, but he was the first one where he used Skype for live call-ins. You got a good cross-section countries there. Your wife from Scotland, you're from Norway. Both places I've always wanted to visit. I've done the UK, but I was on tour, so I didn't have control over where I was going and when exactly. And my tour manager wouldn't let us go up to Scotland. We got within, I think, an hour and a half of the border for our last show. The lights on the Starfarer on the top are really pretty, aren't they? I like those green lights. And now's the point where you have no idea how close to the planet you actually are because it's pitch black. Feel free. If you can get in there, I didn't unlock it. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yes, take it as slow as you need to. It's actually, I was kind of spacing out there for a little bit with the ambient music that was playing and just watching this thing slowly descend. It's really kind of mesmerizing. Yeah, audio life. It's always important to have. You gotta have at least some gunpowder green on reserve, just in case. Or chamomile. Chamomile is nice. But it's important to always have a little bit of tea on hand, because at some point you're gonna want it. Oh, right. Yeah, you can ask why I was touring. I'm sorry, I didn't elaborate on that. I'm a musician, and the last few years I've really been focusing more on writing. I was running a writing program here in LA, so I haven't been doing music a whole lot. And to tell the truth, LA is just not a very inspiring place for me musically. I'm getting back into it now. I'm starting to write some new music, and I'm gonna start getting back out on stage. Excuse me. Sorry, just a little cough there. But yeah, what I was referring to is, it was a good few years ago now. It was maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I did a tour of the UK and Ireland. I was playing in a band called Wood Pigeon that is a Canadian friend of mine, but he started playing music when he was living in Scotland. And so he had a pretty good following there in the UK. And so we toured around, and it was a fantastic tour. I mean, really great. We played with Murray Lachlan Young, who is a really fantastic performance poet. I loved him. He's such a great guy. And we did the UK and Ireland, and on the Irish leg of the tour, I opened up as a solo act. And during the entire tour, we did one of my songs during the Wood Pigeon set. Nice, you were able to get in. You got into my ship. Cool. Ooh, we're coming into those landing pads. I see them. So yeah, I loved to play in the UK. I'd say that the UK was the most receptive audience I've ever played to. Yeah. Yeah, LA's the worst. LA's the worst crowd. Anybody who lives in LA, musicians, comedians, they don't want to do shows in LA. No one does. I'm telling you, in LA, people will go out to a show with the main purpose of socializing. So when the band or the musician is playing, people will be talking, and very loudly. It's extremely disrespectful. And it's the only place in the world that I've ever been to where it happens to this extent. Like, as somebody who performs, there's always going to be people trying to talk over you to compete with, and you learn different ways of dealing with that. But in no way is it like it is in LA anywhere else. I love tour. Yeah, I think it wears a lot of people down, but I love traveling. I lived, pretty nomadically for most of my adult life. I've been in LA for a few years now, and this is the first time I've ever been relatively settled. Las Vegas. Ooh, I've never played Las Vegas, but I'm sure that sucks too. Although Las Vegas, I'm sure pays you well. LA, you don't get paid. I mean, if you're doing a bigger show, you do, but LA is hard. You're competing with so many other acts. I've noticed that there'll be one show in LA, and everybody who is in that world, whether it's indie music or comedy or whatever, almost everybody goes to that one show. So all the other shows that are happening that night get very little turnout. And it's really hard to tell when. Like I worked at a venue here in LA for a couple years, and nights where I didn't expect much, when our bill was just kind of okay. Sometimes we had people lined up around the block, and then nights where we had people that I could not believe that we even got. It was like empty, like 100 people in a 400 person venue. That was a nice landing. Yeah, you nailed that landing. If I want to buy cargo, I don't know that I'm able to. Let's see if I can. So I tried with my org mate recently to I tried to take over, we tried swapping ships and then seeing if we could load cargo into the ships that we currently owned, not the ships that the ships that we physically owned, not the ones that we outright owned. And it wouldn't let us do it. I was hoping that I could load up his ship with cargo as a way of transferring funds over to him, and it did not work. All right, I'm coming to the back door here. It is hard to make money on music. You know what? Could you open the door? I don't think I'm able to open it. Yeah, I'm getting back into music just because I love doing it. I miss being on stage, but I'm going to see if I can't, thank you for opening the door. I'm going to see if I can't find a way to maybe get in with a licensing company or something like that. Maybe I could make a little bit of money doing that. My music definitely has a particular mood to it, and I could see it being well suited to TV and movies. I did have my music in a BBC pilot, but it never went any further than a pilot, unfortunately. It was by the production company that made Red Dwarf, and it was a totally different thing. It wasn't a comedy at all. I don't know that you could use my music in a comedy. It's very slow, very, reflective. A lot of it's kind of melancholy. Yeah, you know what? If nothing else, I'll spawn a dragonfly. Or you know what? I'll put an Ursa in there. I'll spawn an Ursa and a dragonfly and put them in the back. Oh, there's the freelancer. Looks like Surge is here. storage. Here we are. Let's see if I can load it. I can probably load up the Freelancer. It's probably going to let me load the Freelancer, but not the Starfarer. Can I open? Oh, yeah. Yeah, let me come out there and open the door for you. I'll unlock it. All right, now I actually am curious on how you got this ship. How did you get in there? All right, I'm going to open the back door for you. I'd say so. Yeah, I think I pretty standardly get 30 frames per second. Whereas it was sometimes I would get more than that before, but I would very oftentimes get less than that. So let's unlock the doors. Okay. But what I think is great is I wouldn't use FPS as the end-all be-all measure of the improvements of the game, because while the FPS is still pretty good, yeah, let me double check and make sure that I can't put cargo in there, but I'm pretty certain I can't. If not, then yeah, you can load it up. So while the FPS is fine, they've added so much functionality that the FPS still being good, considering that you can now get, what is it? Is it 50 people or is it 30 that you can get into a server now? And you can land on planets. You can have all sorts of ships out. Yeah, it's not even allowing me to put it in the Freelancer. Yeah, it looks like you're gonna have to load up that Starfarer. 50, yeah, so you can get 50 people in here. People will be flying around in things like Starfarers. So try re-landing it. Oh, it's fine. I don't need to put cargo in there. I was just curious on how it was going to work. Yeah, if I got in the pilot seat, if I had turned the ship on, then it probably would have transferred ownership back to me. Strange thing was, what I did is, so me and my friend took Freelancers somewhere. I can't remember what outpost, and both filled them with cargo and then swapped. I jumped in his ship, he jumped in mine, and then we both went to Levski. I was able to sell the cargo that I had purchased and put in my own ship that he was now in possession of, and vice versa. So unfortunately, we did not find a clever way of transferring funds between people. Oh my God, look at how much cargo is in here. I've never seen this thing full of cargo before. Wow. Agricultural supplies, that's how you can afford it. Wow. This is awesome. This is really cool. This is a full-on warehouse in here. Yeah, Jim. I've never seen this either. This is super cool. Let's have a look up top. Well, you know what we're going to do next, right? Nice. Made it. I'm a little bit surprised I made it. Oh, oh, oh. Not quite. Not quite. Let's give it another shot. I've got a medipet. Made it. We've done the impossible. We've stared through the back of our own skulls. Yeah, I really genuinely am curious on how you got into my ship, Serge. Maybe you don't need to reveal all your secrets in chat, but I would be interested to know. Yeah, he can, yeah. Wow, look at the teeth. While this is really weird and gross, look at the fidelity on those teeth. All right, let's see if we can make it back to the other side. Leaping lizards. All right, so we're off to sell these. Serge took off in the Freelancer, so we're on our own here. Do I want to fly it back? All right. Yeah, thank you. Where are we going? We going to Olisar? Adam, thank you for following. That's what? Is this the co-pilot? Pressure's on. I don't remember the last time I flew one of these things. And it's full of cargo. It's not even my cargo. I absolutely have not flown it since Item System 2.0. It's only 21,000. Yeah, I saw his agricultural supplies. Ah, there we go.
Engines off. Engines on. Launch sequence complete. Landing gear up.
Let's get a little space between us and the ground here before we really go for it. Can you port to Port Ollie even if it says you can't? Like it's obstructed or something like that? Oh, you're telling me that I can. Okay. Oh, right. So can't you... Right. I always jump to that Cry Astro and you're telling me that I don't need to. Look at that. This game is just so beautiful. Even if I'm not in space. Wow. Okay. That's news to me. Yeah, it really does take some time to turn this thing, huh? Even the Freelancer feels nimble compared to this. So it's a yellow bug, you don't even have to clear the atmosphere. That's nice. Nice to know.
Quantum travel complete.
Oh, got a tab out here. You know what? I've got to do something about this auto mod thing. It's always trying to censor people. Nobody's said anything that I feel like needs censored yet. Alright, so let's first off, let's request landing.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
Landing gear down.
The landing gear down. Let's get an outside view here. I think this is going to be tight landing. I think what's deceptive and difficult. Am I on the underside? I think I'm on the underside. Is that you start off so slow and you want to get a little bit of speed, but when you do that, you're not going to be able to stop. Oh, stream crashed for a bit. Huh. I wonder what was going on there. Yeah, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary on this side. I wonder if that was a Twitch thing. Yeah, you know, there in space there wouldn't be sound, there wouldn't be physics would work different for sure. But they really do try to balance things being realistic and things being fun. And if it was just as easy to fly something that's big as it is to fly something that's small, the game wouldn't be as fun. Oh, your game crashed. I just saw that I was the party leader, and so I was wondering where everybody went. Did you get back in? Did you get back into the... Are you in the Starfarer, or did you get booted?
Landing complete. Have a pleasant stay.
Whoa, my game just crashed.